All right, we're getting a late start to the vlog today. Woke up this morning to the phone ringing. Evidently the electrical inspector for the pool was here, and he needed for me to come on out, so I came out. Didn't have time to get the camera, and it's been a busy week. We've had a lot of inspectors show up that were unexpected. Started with the fire inspector yesterday, and he started off by touching a bare wire at a junction box that he was checking and got a little shock. And so I guess his friendly disposition changed a little, and we ended up getting a lot of violations throughout the campground. Stuff that in years past I've seen at other campgrounds would have just been a note and not cited. So I've got 30 days to get a whole page of stuff. A lot of it's little. I did a lot of it yesterday afternoon, like improper signage in one area. I'm out here checking. We've got a band coming this weekend, just checking to make sure we have wood. And to top it off, we've had the wood set up, but now it's raining. So I thought I'd come over and check the pool first thing, and having a lot of trouble with the pool. There's a lot of minerals in the water up here I'm not familiar with, and so I've got to call into the pool company. We've been working on the pool for about a week, and it's still kind of a dark color. So I've got to fill out paperwork from the, evidently in New Jersey, you have to have a electrical inspection of the pool every few years, and mine has expired, so I'm trying to get all the paperwork filled out so I can get the inspector to come back out. Here's the pool room. Probably saw it last week. And we've gotten the pollen. So last week we were having trouble with the skimmers. Got the skimmers running, a lot of the pollen's off. You can see the bottom of the pool now. This is the deep end. The amount of stuff that falls off these trees is unbelievable. I think I'm gonna phone a friend and get the pool company to come out and help me get it open. But here in the shallow end, I mean, all this stuff on top is pollen. It was so thick you couldn't even see the bottom. So we've had the skimmers running for 2 days now, and seems to be clearing that up. You can definitely see the bottom of the pool now, which is a good thing. However, it's still got a tea color to it. I put shock in it. I put 25 pounds of granular chlorine in it yesterday, or the night before last, and it's lightened up the water a lot. But I've got to do something to get the tea color out. So I guess one topic I want to talk about today is managing a campground worth it. As y'all know from our prior videos, Cindy and I started work camping about 6 years ago. Absolutely love work camping. But when our son passed away, was unexpected, and the amount of bills that were, I guess, thrust upon us because of, you know, when you should always have a will, but he didn't have a will or anything. He was going through a divorce, and so it cost about $20,000 to bury somebody. And so we incurred a lot of debt. So I came up with the brilliant idea of, you know, we've been assistant managers places, operations managers, store managers, but we need to make some real money. And I think I'm going to go find a campground to manage. We started doing that in South Carolina over the winter, and that went pretty good. And then we got a offer to manage this resort here in New Jersey, which was more money, and Cindy and I talked about it, and we thought it'd be a great way to rebuild our savings from when we had to do the depletion for the funeral expenses and then the legal work that we had to, had to have done. So today we'll talk a little bit about, is managing a campground worth it for the money? But first of all, let's go inside and see what's going on in there. All right. Cindy is not at her desk. I'm not at my desk. Here's Cindy on the floor, building a display. Shh, she looks like she's working hard down there. Let's not bother her. Been tied up in meetings all day, meeting with electricians and all that stuff. It's already 2 o'clock, and I have not been out of the office but when I spoke with y'all earlier. Here's the electrician's vehicle. They are here working on site. There's another electrician's vehicle pulling up right there. I've got to go up and see about the chlorine at the pool. Alright, so I'm going to see about filling the chlorine. Turn off the pumps. Got no chlorine in it. Wash my hands off in the pool. All right, we have chlorine again. All right, now I got to put about 8 or 9 cups of granulars in the pool. All right, I'll put 8 more in and we'll have chlorine in the pool. All right, so today got away from us. I ended up, first of all, it rained all day. I mean, rained all day. I got out a few times and I took y'all with me, but we did a lot of office work, a lot of guests and stuff coming in and out of the park and in the store, so I didn't feel comfortable filming that. And I got hung up with 2 different inspectors from the township. I did get our temporary pool certificate today after 5 phone calls.
That we didn't know there was a deadline.
Yeah, we missed the deadline because we didn't know. And then the electrical inspector who has to come check the pumps and stuff at the pool, I got all the paperwork I got to fill out for that, and I got to have that turned in by Friday. So we've been busy, but I started this video, and Cindy went to the bank by herself because I was dealing with all the inspectors. So we're headed to a pizza place over by Acme called Nepal's Pizza, and we're going to try that. But so Cindy, the thing that I started the video off with is that we enjoy work camping, but is managing a campground worth doing? And I explained that we loved work camping and that we decided to start managing because of having to make up for some unexpected bills that we had, that we ended up spending 15, 20 grand out of pocket, and we're getting our savings and stuff built back up.
Well, and we just wanted to build savings.
Yeah. So we could retire.
So we could actually retire one day.
Hopefully in 2 years.
One day.
One day. But, so I indicated that if we were just on the road work camping or just living the full-time RV life, that I do not believe managing is the way to go, because you get stuck in the park. We never get out of the park. We don't get to go explore. We will this winter, hopefully. And we're stuck in one place for, like, I bet we'll be here for 18 months.
Or longer.
Or
we'll
longer.
Just see.
We'll see. But, so what's your take of managing, in addition to work camping, because that's what we're doing, we're also managing a very large park, probably one of the largest parks we've ever worked at.
I don't see it as the largest, but I mean, maybe it is, but I mean, I just, campgrounds.
Yeah, West Yellowstone was like 30 sites bigger, but every other park's been smaller.
And maybe it's because I'm so used to West Yellowstone, being there for 2 years.
So what do you think? Is it worth managing? If you were to tell somebody...
It depends on your personality. It depends on what you like to do. And it depends on why you're in the area. Like, we have people working here that come back to this area every season because they have family in this area.
Assistant manager
so
has a grandson and 2 sons.
I mean, if you were doing that, it may be worth managing the park, you know?
Yeah.
And then if you had someone who could stay the winter for you, then you could go somewhere for the winter to a nicer climate.
Which we're working on that.
And then come back year after year after year.
Yeah.
I mean, it just really depends on the area. I think once you've been at a park managed a park for several years, and you get it into a routine and the way you like it, and you get all your systems in place, then I think it would get easier every year.
I can already tell this park's easier than it was a month ago.
I mean, you know, you just... And it depends on how organized you are, too. I mean, we've worked for some managers.
All right, so we just finished
dinner
at Naples, something like that, pizza place. I don't know why I can't get it right. And we went to Acme. And so on the way up here, we were talking about if it's worth doing a management job if you just started work camping. And we're pulling in the parking lot, or close to the parking lot, and I look down and the camera's not running anymore. For some reason, it just shut off. And we went in 8, so we don't know where it stopped. So I'm gonna try to edit all this together. But one thing we were talking about is early on in your work camping career, even if you're qualified to manage, I would say enjoy the process, enjoy the traveling, do a couple of parks season to season.
Well, I think you should do that for more than one reason. One, you want to enjoy the process, enjoy why you decided to go into work camping and do what you're doing. But also, from job to job, you figure out exactly what work camping is. You learn a lot about each position of work camping and how all of it comes together and how campgrounds are run. And you know, you have the corporate campgrounds, you have the mom and pop campgrounds where the owners live right there on site and they're just hiring people to come work it. Then you have the out of town owners that come in, you know, that own maybe 1 or 2 campgrounds, and they fly in or come in just to see what's going on with the campground and check on things and that sort of thing. You know, so there's all types of owners.
Some good, some bad.
Well, and you know, it's a completely different thing. So if you work for campground owners who live on site, some like to be really involved in the day-to-day of the campground. Some like to just come in, give direction, and leave, you know, which is fine.
And don't want to be bothered.
Right. And then you've got the ones who just want you to handle it and keep them up to date with what's going on. You know, they don't even want to be involved at all, but they live right there on site.
But if you are like us and you're trying to retire, we're trying to retire at 62, somewhere between 62 and 64, to get our Social Security and to live our best life while we're still young enough and healthy enough to
Travel
do that.
and see
because
things and
really
go
60 is the
places
new 40. I mean, I don't feel like I thought I'd feel at 60 years old. So I'm just going to say that. But
well, what was it? Somebody told me the other day, I didn't think I'd ever live to see 40. I thought 40 was old.
Yeah. But
now they're in their 50s. And
Yeah.
they're like, when I was younger, I thought I'd be dead by now.
yeah, and then there's some of them maybe. But so if you really need to make the highest dollar value, then you can kind of do it like we're doing it. We're managing, but we're staying put for
go
long.
into it, manage. I mean, it may suit your personality and your work ethic. I mean, some people just have to be in charge.
Right.
They don't know how to take direction.
Yeah.
Some people have to be the person in charge.
And we've got a worker in our campground that that they all feel like we got too many chiefs and not enough Indians, I think, sometimes. But so you have to really analyze what you're trying to do. If you're trying to maximize your time for dollar, just realize that if you decide to manage a campground, they tell you you're going to get a day off. It's a 7-day-a-week job. But if you're in a seasonal campground, you know, we work an unbelievable schedule right now. We're hoping this winter, we'll see if it works out, we won't have to work as much and we'll still get in the same dollars. And we've figured out how to save X number of dollars every month, and we've been able to pay off almost all our bills. We have two bills and we're saving money. So that's a good thing. So I don't know how this video is going to be. I don't know where the video stopped before, and because we were meeting friends for dinner, I didn't have time to go back and look. And then, as I know, the camera makes it look lighter, but it is 7:40 at night. It's getting dark outside. We're parked by a street light, and it looks brighter inside, but to go back and watch the video and then do this video, it'd be dark in here. So I wanted to kind of just let you know how we were feeling. Now, today was a hard day of videoing. Lots of times we have a lot of stuff we're doing outside, and that's normally what I'm doing, but I got pulled indoors today to handle all these inspectors from the townships and to try to get the pool open. And
well, it's all the beginning of the season stuff that has to be done.
Yep.
I mean, the inspections, the making sure you've gotten this clean, that clean.
And we've been here a month, and as you saw earlier in the video, Cindy's still trying to get the store put together. And you saw her, she was down on the floor putting...
Well, I'm trying to build...
petitions.
Yeah, to...
hide merchandise from stock.
Yes.
That's a good way
just to make it look good. I'm, you know, is that necessarily my job and what I should be doing? No, but it's something that I felt like needed to be done. I came up with an idea, so I implemented it.
But when you manage a campground,
I want things to look a certain way.
And they're ultimately all your jobs.
Well, I guess, but some people would say, I don't know why you're doing that. That's not your job.
Example today, and somebody broke the door handle at the rec hall.
I know.
And the two guys on the maintenance team today that were working couldn't figure out how to take the doorknob off. So I had to go down there and show them how to do it.
Well, I mean, it's probably something they've never had to do before.
So anyway, this is a different aspect to the work camping stuff we usually talk about, and we wanted to share that with you. The video did not turn out like I wanted it to turn out, just based on how the day went and the rain and the camera messing up. But we thank you for sticking with us.
Do you have a few challenges today?
Oh my God. So, but we want to thank y'all for staying with us and watching the video. And if you've watched this long, we ask you to leave us a thumbs up, share the video if you know people that are thinking about managing campgrounds. Our email address is up in the About section if anybody has any real questions about...
Yeah, we had somebody call us.
We had somebody call us last week, or email us, and then...
No, they called us at the store.
Oh, they called the store, yeah.
They called us at the store.
And they may be work camping the end of the season with us. We don't know.
Yeah, well, they'll see. They're not sure what they're doing yet, so...
So anyway, thank you all for watching. We hope y'all had a good week, and happy camping and safe travels.
Night.